Tax us now. Ultra-rich call on governments to introduce wealth taxes. Davos 2023.
Here's a summary of the article.
More than 200 members of the super-rich elite are calling on governments around the world to tax us, the ultra-rich, now, in order to help billions of people struggling with cost of living crisis. The group of 205 millionaires and billionaires, including the Disney heiress Abigail Disney and the Hulk actor Mark Ruffalo, on Wednesday called on world leaders and business executives meeting in Davos for the World Economic Forum to urgently introduce wealth taxes to help tackle extreme inequality. Defending democracy and building cooperation requires action to build fairer economies right now. It is not a problem that can be left for our children to fix. Now is the time to tackle extreme wealth. Now is the time to tax the ultra-rich. In the letter entitled, The Cost of Extreme Wealth, the millionaires, from 13 countries, said, the history of the last 5 decades is a story of wealth flowing nowhere but upwards. It comes as new research shows that almost 2/3 of the new wealth amassed since the start of the pandemic has gone to the richest 1%. The development charity Oxfam found that the best off had pocketed $26 trillion in new wealth up to the end of 2021. Oxfam said for the first time in a quarter of a century the rise in extreme wealth was being accompanied by an increase in extreme poverty, and called for new taxes to be levied on the super-rich. Marlene Engelhorn, a multi-millionaire heiress, co-founder of campaign group Tax Me Now, and a signatory of the letter, said, the whole world, economists and millionaires alike, can see the solution that is staring us all right in the face. We have to tax the ultra-rich.
This post received a score of 12,000, with an upvote ratio of 91%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Panama Papers. These people take their untaxed money, and hide it internationally.
If they actually felt this way they wouldn't hide from taxes with offshore accounts. But also they shouldn't take any of the tax loopholes and take the standard deduction instead? But obviously they don't actually have a problem with their, technically legal, tax avoidance.
I think it's a fair point. If only good people don't use the loopholes, then we essentially have a tax on honesty, because bad people won't give a fuck. The proper answer is to close the loopholes and brutally prosecute tax avoiders.
What we have is even more insidious. A tax on poverty. It requires money to exploit the loopholes, and money to deter the IRS.
It's expensive to be poor.
I forget who said it, but the quote, "When I was poor I had to pay for everything. Once I was rich everything was given for free," seems resonant here.
Ben Folds once said, when I needed it most, they tried to charge me, but now that I'm rich, they give me free coffee.
I look forward to them not pulling strings behind the scenes to undermine any increased tax proposals.
Davos is a performance and you are the audience. It's an event for the public to observe rich people saying the things we think rich people should say, and hopefully to stave off the pitchforks for another year. That's why there are celebrities etc. who aren't billionaires. Someone has to deliver the message that, hey, we aren't so bad, and have it be believed. Better if it comes from an attractive actor or something instead of a 90-year-old ghoul with a bank account the size of a midden nation. It's all horseshit.
Indeed, the billionaires all have the option of donating billions to the government based on what they feel they should be taxed. They just don't do it.
Most billionaires could easily fund their own local UBI. They choose not to for the same reasons that they are rich.
Most company CEOs could pay for yearly wage increases out of their own salary and still be incredibly wealthy.
For the vast majority of companies, it would be an insulting few cents an hour raise per employee. Yes, CEOs tend to make stupid money in the millions, but divided between all the employees, it's maybe a couple hundred to a couple thousand per year on the high end. Go ahead, pick a company and do the math.
That's one person, though. These companies have boardrooms full of these guys, and that's also a shitty excuse. They are still not putting forth their fair share for the take-home pay, and even if it's not much, that money would end up in the pockets of working people and back into the moving money of the economy regardless, whereas them not doing it just isolates that wealth and drives up interest on everyone else while actively lowering the value of the currency. That's not an excuse, it's just a deflection.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.